Yo boys and girls, welcome back to the channel. We're back with Chapter 3, Map 1 of Rise of X, the Cavalier event. So yeah, let's jump in and have a bit of a look. This quest ends with magic, and really nasty magic as well. But if we have a look at the lines, it's mainly a transducer biohazard line with seeing red, which actually I think benefits mutant champions, if I'm not wrong. But being biohazard, it automatically favors Omega Red. I brought Thing as well, and Corvus and Warlock, all really double immunes. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of use Omega to clear the lane. So you'll see he does it really quickly against the likes of Morningstar, particularly because once with Biohazard, as soon as you got that bleed on, the death field is on, and you can stack those death spores and do tons and tons of damage. And my Omega is fairly high Sig. He's not probably like 100 or so. Maybe he's not really like a 200, but he's quite high. And also, of course, he recovers really well from the willpower on the bleed. So as you can see, we kind of ruin Morningstar here. Then we are throwing the SP3 just to heal up in case we needed anything more, and mainly kind of to drain her power. So yeah, he absolutely just tears through the line, and then you're left with magic at the end. And magic is really kind of the trick of this quest. So we'll be done here soon, and we'll have a look at this magic. And there's a couple of reasons this magic is tricky, and she actually took a little bit out of me, if I'm being honest. She's not super tough, but she does have a couple of tricky nodes, which make the fight really interesting and really challenging. So you'll have a look here. All around 60,000 PI region, and probably about 300,000 life. If you do have a blade, he's a pretty good counter here. But I thought I'd bring in Human Torch, and Human Torch was actually a really good counter. But if you have a look at the nodes, she's got Prey on the Weak. All her special attacks are unblockable. She's got Buffet, so she regens on every buff you get. So Dex is a buff. And also, she's got this inversion chaos thing. So when she throws her special, she's unblockable, but she also inverts your controls. So your dash becomes your dex, and your dex becomes your dash. Back becomes forward, forward becomes back. And so often you find yourself either running into the special accidentally, or dashing in straight after a special accidentally and getting clipped on the face. So Human Torch does a fair bit against her, but also the other thing is you've got that limbo damage as well, which is interactive, is almost unavoidable. So it makes this fight really tricky, and it makes it quite hard to manage. So you could do a lot of damage, but you have to kind of time. You kind of have to try not to get clipped by the SPs, first of all, because one, they're unblockable. You can't just stand there and take the damage. You have to actively try to get away from them, and hopefully kind of dash forward towards them so you're not actually taking them. But yeah, seeing as, she's the only one on the path that has this inversion mechanism, your mindset might not be on that yet. Also, try as much as you can to kind of parry into, especially if you have the Pacifying Mastery, parry over into the SP1 and parry over into the second bar of power, just so you have the least amount of chance to trigger the limbo, because you can't avoid taking damage on the limbo. Yeah, someone like Blade obviously would be the absolute counter here, because one, you'll be able to regen or that limbo damage anyway. Two, you can deal tech damage with the bleed. And three, you'd be doing a lot of damage anyway with the crits, and you'll reduce her ability accuracy. But or somebody like Archangel could also work. I probably should have brought Archangel. I might try that next time. But this was my first go, so by the time I got to this point, I was like, okay, well, might as well fight her with the team that I have here. So Thing doesn't do too badly as well. Obviously, it takes a lot of damage from the Limbo, but between Thing and Human Torch, we've got her down to about half life. Corvus was really not a good option, particularly also because he's not really charged up. He's not at a level where I can bring him in and charge him. I just thought I'd do as much burst damage as I can with him before moving on to somebody else, and clearly it's not a lot of damage. And then I decided to try Warlock, and the idea with Warlock is that maybe I could block the heal on the Buffet and also on the Limbo side. So that would mean that, look, on both sides, I've got a little bit of an advantage, and I can just keep dealing damage to her normally. The only thing then is that you do take the Limbo damage anyway, so that does not really help. So he's better in theory than he is in practice. And so yeah, I think I went back to Human Torch and just thought, okay, what the hell, I'll just revive and go in and do as much damage as I can, heal him up as much as I can as well, because you're going to be taking a lot of Limbo damage, which is unavoidable. So you want him to be as max life as you can, because you want to last as long as possible. And the thing with Human Torch as well is the higher he is, the more incinerate he is, and as soon as he goes into Nova, now all of a sudden you start dealing Nova damage plus incinerate damage, and you start really reversing the regen and really reversing that Limbo. So you'll be able to see here, we start completely melting her down through her regen, through her Limbo, but we are taking a lot of damage, and ideally I would have even healed up a little bit more. So I've almost got her here, but I just get clipped right at the end, and because it's not as simple just dash back to evade, that's the only really tricky thing about her. So if you have someone who is either is able to be immune to the whole dash back and dash forward thing, or you have Human Torch, or you have Blade, you probably have a decent time with her. She's not difficult, man, but chances are you're probably going to throw in a couple of revives your first time just while you try to get used to her. But I hope this video helped, guys. If you did enjoy it, do hit the like button or subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next ones. Ka kite, no bros and girls.